You hear it all the time. Be consistent and you will succeed. But here's the truth. Most people are consistent, but they still stay broke. And why is that? Well, I think that consistency, just by itself alone, isn't enough to guarantee you results. It's enough to get you in the game, and it gets you in practice, and it gets you going through the motions, sure. But similar to posting content onto short form platforms like Instagram, or showing up at the gym, or writing emails to an email list, if you're not being consistent in the right way, none of those things will yield the results that you want. And I think consistency can be broken down into 3 distinct levels, okay? So the first level being consistency just by itself, right? Just showing up every day, indeed, but just doing that, and that's it, with no quality control, okay? And I get why most people do that, right? Because we do understand that to do anything successful in life, you have to be consistent at it, right? Whether that's being successful in your 9-to-5 job and getting your promotion and your raise, whether that's raising a child and having a good, well-rounded human at the end of it, or whether that's actually starting your own successful business. We all know that we need to be consistent, but it's consistent in the right way. So then the base level is just going through the motions. Then we've got the second level, which is being consistently good. And what does that look like? Well, for me, in my world where I'm, building online businesses and doing it through content and doing it through social media and doing it through video, it's making sure that I am getting 1% better every day in terms of, what does my lighting look like? What does my framing look like? What does my background look like? What does my editing look like? What is the equipment that I'm using to create these videos? These kind of things. Understanding how I can always be improving so that people enjoy the content that I'm putting out there more and more. That could be labeled as consistently good, But then we got the third level, which is consistently great. So what does that look like? Again, using my example, that could be analyzing on a regular basis, whether that's daily, but probably analyzing my competitors, seeing what they're doing with their videos. What is making their videos go viral? What is making them have tons of subscribers and tons of followers? Analyzing their videos, seeing how they're structuring them. What are their hooks? What are their call to actions at the end? What subjects are they talking about that's resonating with people? Let's take those things, let's take inspiration from them and apply them to my own content so that I can boost my own, right? And then further upgrading my content, different locations, whatever it may be. And there's lots of different areas with that, but then maybe improving not 1% every day, but improving 10% per day. All of these things can be brought into that top level, and this can be applied to anything that you want to do. That means that you're now showing up every single day in a great way. Now, another great analogy for this is someone going to the gym, and you've got an overweight person and an absolute shredded person. Okay, what's the difference between those two? Well, the overweight person is probably following some sort of diet, but not very consistently, right? They're doing some healthy meals per week, but most of the time it's pizzas and burgers and takeaways. And when they go to the gym, they're probably doing it a bit half-assed, a couple of exercises here and there, not particularly heavy, not getting out of breath, and then wondering why they're still staying overweight. And then you've got someone that's absolutely shredded that sticks to a diet like there's a law against not sticking to a diet, right? And when they go to the gym, they're sweating buckets. They're probably just about to throw up after they finish at the gym. They're breaking out in hives. They're doing unbelievably heavy, and they get those results. And it applies to absolutely anything, like writing emails to your own email list, right? In the digital marketing world. If you're saying, okay, I know I need to write daily emails and send it out to the list, but if those daily emails are crap and no one's interested in reading them, they're not going to open them, and you're going to have crappy click-through rates. You've got to make sure, okay, how can I improve these emails? Let's go and look at other big hitters in the industry and what their emails look like. Let's subscribe to their list so I'm receiving them daily. Look at what they're saying, take inspiration from it so it can hone my own skills and my own output. So I think my point that I'm trying to make here is that don't blindly follow something and be consistent with it and expect results, okay? Because if you've heard someone saying that some kind of method can get you results by being consistent, then you can be damn sure that there's going to be other people out there that will also be trying to stay consistent with it. Again, coming back to that social media angle, because that's just what I do, is that someone might hear me on my pieces of content saying, okay, Ashley said for me to post a video every single day on Instagram for the next 90 days. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. And they go ahead and do it. And then they come to me after 90 days and they say, Ashley, this is what I did and I haven't made any money and I've got 10 followers. You're a liar. I can't believe that I followed what you said. And then I'll go to their profile and have a look at their content, and I'll instantly know why they haven't got any followers and minimal views, and they haven't certainly made any money. Because you look through the content, it's terrible lighting, it's crappy videos, no one wants to watch them. And don't get me wrong, when I'm saying crappy videos, I know that everyone needs to start somewhere and they do need to learn. However, they're not trying to improve themselves. They're just sticking with that because they're blindly staying consistent. So I instantly know why people aren't interacting with it and why they're certainly not putting their hand in their pocket, getting their credit card out and buying a product through that person's affiliate link, which is in their bio of their social media account. I get it, right? So, the reason I'm making this video is because I see so many people do it. They just do it blindly and then wonder why they don't get results. If you want to get successful at something, you've got to live it. You've got to breathe it. You've got to be pig-headed and arrogant about it. You've got to say, I'm going to make this work whether it kills me or not, right? I don't know if that's the right term, but you know what I'm trying to say. It's so true. That doesn't mean you need to throw up because you've been working too long at the laptop or burn yourself out or whatever, but it does mean that you need to show up every single day as the best version of yourself in order to get the results that you want. Now, another thing that I want to bring in at this point is I know that isn't necessarily realistic every single day. 100%. You will get sick. You will get tired. Things crop up. I know people have families. They have different responsibilities, and that means that you can't always be great every single day. I 100% get that. But if you at least say, okay, I've got something going on, but I'll still be consistent at least, then already at that point, you've differentiated yourself from 99% of other people just by being consistent. Because 99% of other people, when something trips them up or something crops up in their life, and they're like, and potentially rightly so, it's more important, they just completely disregard what they were working on. Right? Again, I'll use my example with social media content. If I'm feeling sick or I'm feeling tired, I'll just grab a B-roll video from my Photos app that I've had filmed from ages ago, right? Maybe of me walking down the street or eating something at the dinner table, put some text over the top of it and get that posted while I'm feeling sick on the sofa. But at least I've posted because I've maintained that consistency. So 99% of people won't even do that. So you've differentiated yourself. And then when we go to the levels of good and great, 99% of people won't be good of that 1% from the first level. And then 99% of the 1% from the good level won't be great. So I think it's important for you guys to keep that in mind when you're doing anything, right? But especially in the online world, when you're trying to build a business and you're trying to build a following, a subscriber base, whatever it is, that you've got to show up every day in the best way possible, life allowing, and you'll start seeing massive results. So consistency will get you started. Being consistently good will get you results. But showing up consistently great every single day will change your life. So I want to hear from you guys. Let me know in the comments down below, what are you showing up as right now? I'd love to hear from you. And if this subject has fired you up, watch one of these videos that have popped up here on the screen. One specifically about after I've created 1,700 pieces of content, consistently great, what did I learn from that process? And also my thoughts on AI and how it is not going to be replacing humans anytime soon, and how it is one of the biggest opportunities that we've ever seen, and you need to take advantage of it. Go and click on one of those, and I'll see you over there.